Trying this again. I am having a heck of a Friday, but hopefully you guys are doing well. Let me get some information in the chat here. And yes, I finally got it to work. Nice. All right. Let me go and update um, the the chat. And you guys, let me know how your week went. We're going to do our community read and then we will get started with some free readings and then we will go from there. And today I have my Prisma visions. Last week we were using my Game of Thrones tarot, but I am pulling out my good old Prisma visions. I really like the deck. It has a really good vibe and it's really pretty. It actually has a very similar vibe to my Game of Thrones. Hey Giovanni, how are you doing? We are going to get started in 1 second. I am just getting myself together because I had a little bit of technical difficulties. And you can see that my setup is a little different. Took forever to get. Yeah, I totally have you on the list, Giovanni. No worries. And thank you for the like and subscribe. Hey, Miriam. Yeah, I'm just gonna let some people get in the chat. You guys, feel free to chat. I wanted to know how everybody's week was doing. I'm gonna do a community read for everyone. And you too, you had a pretty good week? My week was long, but to be honest, I had a really nice Friday, so I can't complain. And I'm here with you guys. So I doubly can't complain. Let me get some information in the chat and then we could get started because I'm running behind. So I'm going to switch to my other cam in a second and I'm going to pull out my tarot decks. This is so stressful to do on the fly. I don't know how people do it. Maybe because they have mods. Okay. Almost done. Okay. Officially pinned and we're good to go. So as you see here, I switched over to Restream. You see the little symbol. I guess it's right there. Because I thought my OBS was acting up, but it was actually YouTube. So yeah, you live and you learn. And I have my decks here. It's a little janky because of this view here, but let's see if we can get this without making you guys nauseous. All right. So I have my deck. It is this Prisma Visions deck here. And I just want to cleanse the space because it was a little stressful getting started, and this is my rosemary bundle. It is good for protection and it smells really good. It's one of my favorite herbs to use. It can be subbed for a lot of other herbs and it is more ethically sourced than white sages, which is also a really popular herb to use. So let's get started. Since I'm running late, I'll skip the community read and I will put that at the end. So why don't you guys, Giovanni and Miriam, if you guys are still hanging out while you were waiting for me, go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and we can definitely get started. I'm gonna get my little tablet here so I can pull up I can write down some names. Oh, that's sweet of you, Miriam. Sometimes people have different amounts of like lag too. So I'll give Miriam a second. It gives me time to warm up the deck some, just get some nice shuffles going. I think my deck's upside down. Yeah, if they're still here, I'm not sure they are. So you go ahead and put your question in the chat, and if Giovanni shows up, we'll get him later. Yeah, I think you are. You're my only one. I think people dipped out when I was having some technical difficulties, but if you want to read, you're here, so I will gladly give you one. Okay. Let's wake up here. So, Miriam, you want to know what the Leo's current feelings are towards you. Hey, Pookie Bear, how are you doing? Nice to see you. See your username. So let's see here. Leo's current feelings towards you. Got the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands in reverse, actually. So wands are sorry, pulling up some another tab, but wands are actually energy or passion and action. So there's some action that is happening, but the fact that it's reversed, it should be some new actions that are happening. I think there are some delays, and it could be because of anything. It could be because this Leo is distracted, or maybe he thinks that you're distracted and there's something getting in the way of him making any moves towards you. So I think he is interested in you. He has some sort of interest that is brewing, but something is standing in the way of that. And I guess since I'm in Restream, I can show this. I'm glad you're doing well, Pookie and Emily. Welcome. Hey, Gingerbread. Yeah, so Miriam, if you know this Leo, if you know him or her really well, then this is someone who's interested but is nervous about taking that first step for some reason. It could be any kind of distraction that's going on in either of your lives, and maybe it just makes this person feel like not quite yet, not quite yet. So I would say it's like medium energy. It's still good, but there's no action that's happening, even though you have this wands energy here. So it should be, but there's some boundaries that, or not boundaries, blockages. Thank you guys for the like and sub. So go ahead and put join in the chat, and that way I know you're not just hanging out and you're wanting to read. If you're just hanging out, feel free to hang out. You could chit chat and just enjoy the readings. So Pookie, you did come up next while I was doing the reading, so I got you in the queue, and anybody else who wants to go next, go ahead, put your name in the queue while I do Pookie's reading. And you're welcome, Miriam. I'm glad that makes sense. So you just got to get over that hurdle, and then I think once those roads open up, you kind of have a new beginning ahead of you, which is really exciting, honestly. All right, so Pookie, Emily, um, Avantika. Hopefully, I said that right. Vantika and Ginger. Yeah, Emily, you did it perfectly. All right, so Pookie asks, um, does A love you as much as you love him? Yay, I said it right. Giovanni, there you are. I'm doing Pookie's now, but go ahead and put your question in chat since I have you first. So I'm gonna do a yes or no for you, Pookie, and then do a follow up from there. So let's see. You want to know, does A love Pookie as much as Pookie loves him? Whoop. Ooh, so yes. So that is a yes, Pookie. And let's see how your connection is. I'll follow up with that question. How is Pookie's connection with A? Whoop. There we go. Much better. Ooh, the magician. So yeah, it's it's okay, Giovanni. So Twinkle and sorry, I got you both on the list. All right. All right, so you got the magician along with your yes, Pookie, and the magician is really interesting because uh, it's a card about like balance and just sort of all encompassing like resourcefulness and action and inspiration. So the connection you guys have is really just kind of magical, whether you feel it now or not. And it could just be some self doubts that are kind of hindering you realizing this. But the magician is all about like manifestation and actually like inspired action. So there's a lot of really good vibes that are going on with you and a Pookie. All right. Next we have, whoops, sorry, you moved up on me. We have Giovanni. Giovanni asks, what do I need to work on in my relationship? Let's see, what does Giovanni need to work on in their relationship? That is very exciting, Pookie. Really great energy. And it's like the magician is the second card after the fool, which is the beginning of the tarot. So you're on this really long, just exciting journey together. All right. So let me make sure I got people that I didn't miss them. All right. So, guys, if you put your questions down before I ask you, I am going to have to ask you again because I won't be skipping people unless you tip, just so I can keep track of everything. All right. So, I am jotting you guys down. All right. So, I've added Nazma, Jasmine, and Trey to the queue. So, Giovanni, let's see what you have to work on for your relationship. Ooh, you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Queens are really great energy to have because they are really about maturity when it comes to emotions and all of that. But the Queen of Pentacles is usually someone who is financially independent and also maybe someone who's really generous, stuff like that. But in reverse, you have a little conflict that is going on in the relationship, and you need to flip that energy around. So, and it could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be with deal with money or finances. It could just be an imbalance that's going on. So, what you want to work on is balancing that out, and just sort of relying on the fact that you are, just know that you are emotionally mature. You can work this out. Just make sure you build that communication. And let me see if I can show this in the camera. um you can see that this queen here is keeping that coin close to her, so just bring that person in close to you, and flip things around. So hopefully that resonates with you. All right, so next up we have Emily and Avastina. Advantika, sorry. So go ahead, put your questions in the chat. And just to remind you guys, you're so welcome. I'm glad that resonates with you. Emily would like to know, did B receive the photos of the baby I sent him? We have not been in communication. So I'm going to do my coin. We'll see if that's a yes or no, and then we will go from there. Thank you for the follow. Sorry. So Emily would like to know if B received the photos of the baby. So yes, he did. I will ask a follow-up of how did he feel about the photos? Or how did he receive that? Tiny elephant. So this is a specialty card. I'm going to pull another one just to get some more. Okay, so the Hierophant. You got the Hierophant and the Tiny Elephants. Tiny Elephants is a special card to this deck. There are a few specialty cards that are not default to tarot, but the Hierophant is really a card of like mentorship and learning and stuff like that. And the way that I see the Tiny Elephant actually is similarly, it's like on the path to wisdom. So I think when B saw those photos, he really it really made him think about a lot of things, and it doesn't lead me to any sort of like what he was thinking about, but it made him very thoughtful. So if you were worried that he like disregarded the photos or anything like that, it wasn't like that. He did receive B received the photos, and it was actually something that he kept with him in terms of it stuck with him is the phrase I'm looking for. All right, guys, let's see who is up next. Ginger, Twinkle, go ahead, put your questions in the chat. And then I have, after those two, I have Sorry, Nazma, Jasmine, and Trey. Oh, yeah. Avantika, go ahead, put your question in. You're so welcome, Emily. I hope that helps a lot. All right. Yeah, Avantika, go ahead. I called out your name, but I'm sure there's a little bit of a lag. So go ahead, put your question in the chat, and I will get you. So right now we have Twinkle. I'm not going to ask if he gets nervous around you. I'm going to ask what your I think a better question would be like what is your connection really? Just because if I ask if he gets nervous and it's a no, then we won't really know what's going on. So I'm gonna just change that question around. I hope that's okay. Hey, Hearts Love. All right. Ooh. Got the Four of Wands. Let me move this. So actually, I don't see this as it could be nervousness, but it's I would actually let me pull one more card. I don't usually take excuse me. I don't usually take jumpers from this deck because it's not a deck to do that. So you got the Four of Wands and then the Temperance card. And Four of Wands is actually about celebration and joyfulness and um, basically taking actions towards celebrating. But Temperance is it's still a good card actually. It's about patience and purpose and moderation. So I think maybe I think your boss probably sees uh potential in you, and maybe he's just watching you, right? Watching to see how you perform and watching to see how you handle yourself at work, because I feel like um if he likes what he's seeing in your work ethic, I think that good things will come, like maybe like a promotion or like more opportunities, something like that, bonuses, I don't know. But yeah, it does definitely doesn't seem like nervous energy at all. And it actually seems really like really good energy, like he's definitely trying to see if you're the employee that he's wanting to, push forward, almost in a mentorship kind of way, but not quite. Yeah, you're so welcome, Twinkle. Joanna, sorry, I did call you Heart's Love, and Joanna is literally right there. So I have you in the queue, hon. Maybe you are the nervous one, but that's okay, because sometimes we get a little nervous about stuff like that when people are looking and you don't know what their motives are. So I wouldn't take it personally. And I mean, I'm not, I don't mean I wouldn't take it personally. I mean that I wouldn't worry about it. All right, next up we have Ginger. Will next month go as I hope and plan? All right, gonna do my yes or no coin. Will next month go as Ginger hopes and plans? So no, let's find out why that's a no. Why won't next month go as Ginger plans? Ooh. There we go. Queen of Cups. So it seems like perhaps there's something that will happen next month that is poetic. I'll add you to the queue. It seems like there is something next month that might just sort of change emotionally. And I don't know if you were looking for like something next month to happen romantically, but the Queen of Cups is a really, really emotional card. Um, Cups is all about like is about emotions, and then queens are also about emotions. So I think what is going to happen next month might actually be, if you're worrying something bad is going to happen, it might be better than you think, because the queen is about finding that emotional stability, um tapping into your intuition and stuff like that, kind of going with the flow. So if you're thinking that there was something worrisome that's happening next month, then the reason you got to know is because that Queen of Cups energy. So let me cross off some people here. All right, Avantika, I got you next, girl. All right. Let's see how Abhishek. You're welcome, Ginger. Let's see how Abhishek is feeling about Avantika. Page of Wands. Actually, so Page of Wands is a really cool card because even though it's a little bit immature in terms of the energy, um Wands is really active. So also the Page of Wands is usually about bringing news and something new into the life, into your life. And because wands are a highly active card, I think that Abhishek really likes you, and I think you're going to learn about that soon. If you already know he likes you, then maybe this is a sign that he's going to finally finally take that step forward. Yeah, and maybe, it's definitely an immature card. So this is someone who definitely needs some maturing. So you always kind of have to keep that in mind. And if that's not your thing, then, this is kind of confirmation of that energy. But in terms of how he feels about you, he does like you. And in regards to, does he love you, I try not to go that far usually. But in terms of coming back, yeah, the page is about, bringing news to you. So this is someone who is going to be bringing that energy back towards you in some sort of way. Yeah, and maybe, I mean, if he told you that he liked you, and did you respond back to him? Like, did you tell him you liked him too? Because if not, maybe he felt like, oh crap, I just embarrassed myself. Or he's just not sure what the next step should be. So if you don't want to wait, you can always go ask him yourself. You're so welcome. All right. Jasmine, you were almost up, hun. Sorry, and Nazma, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Oh, good. I'm glad you did that, because now the ball is in his court. He has to make the move, and yeah, he just has to make that move now. So let's see. Hi, Lucinda. Got you added to the list. Sorry, Nazma. Go ahead, put your questions in the chat. Ronnie, I have you as well. Nazma, all right. Let's see. Chrissy, yeah, I added you to the queue as well. All right, so Nazma, what are Rajab's true feelings? Let's see. What are Rajab's true feelings? Ooh, you have a specialty card here in reverse. So I'm going to pull another one. When I get my specialty cards, as I'm starting to learn what they stand for, I always will pull another card. But for the most part, if you want a multi-card reading, you have to tip. Okay. So the devil card is actually someone who can be a little obsessive. And honestly, I would worry about this person's intentions. And maybe he doesn't mean it this way, but the devil card is usually someone who can be obsessive, kind of stalkery. um Thank you for the follow, parasocial. They can actually have sort of like, addictions to things. It can just be really bad energy to invite into your life. And that makes me think these strawberries in reverse are like, think of rotting fruit almost. Just it looks good until you bite into it, kind of thing. So yeah, I don't think this person. They might come off as really charming and fun and just really cool to be around, but when you get deeper, it's not the kind of energy that you want in your life. All right, all right, sorry if you're still here, go ahead, get your question in. Then next I have Jasmine. Go ahead and post your question again. How are you doing, Parasocial? How's everyone doing today? I hope you guys are having a good day. Good. I hope your week went well. Do you want to be added to the queue, Power? I guess I could call you Perry. You literally have a name in your username. Yeah, you're welcome, Nazma. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You would be eighth, Perry. Um. So let's see. Jasmine, if you are still here, go ahead, put your question in. Trey, go ahead, get your question in. And then up next, I have. That's okay. Thanks for hanging out. Chill out, enjoy some readings, and then enjoy the rest of your Friday. I totally understand. Sure. Let's see. Message from the spirits. So, Trey wants a message from the spirits. You got the Three of Swords in reverse. And the Three of Swords is already a card of like heartbreak. And then in reverse, it could actually be more of, since heartbreak could be from the external, but in reverse it's more internal. So you've been really hard on yourself lately, and you might have been the opposite of affirmations. You've been negatively talking to yourself or putting yourself down. And if we look at this card, let me make sure I get this in. So if you look at this card, you could just see how the poor deer or whatever this is just riddled with swords. And you're just kind of putting that energy into yourself, and you shouldn't do that. Try to do the opposite instead of putting yourself down. Think of affirmations, think of the opposite, and bring more of that type of energy in, and start pushing this Three of Swords energy out. And that's a really good message. I think your spirits are looking out for you. Yeah, so guys, I will go through the queue number real quick. Um so I have Jasmine, she's up next, and then I have Joanna, Poetic, Lucinda, Ronnie, Chrissy, and Perry. And then Rose. Or not Perry, sorry. So instead of Perry, we have Rose. You're welcome. All right, Jasmine, Joanna, Poetic, go ahead, put your questions in the chat. Jasmine, can you repost your question? Thank you, guys. This is why I asked to wait to push your question in till I'm ready because I will lose it in the chat. I'm very bad at that. All right. Gotcha, Keith. All right, Jasmine. Well, I wait for you. I am going to go ahead and get Poetic's message from the spirits and ancestors. All right, message for Poetic from his spirits and ancestors. Ooh, the Justice card. So, have you been putting energy out that whether good or bad, let me rephrase that. Whether good or bad, if you've been putting energy out lately, it's finally going to be coming back to you. So, if you've been working on manifestations or anything like that, you have a lot of good energy coming back. But on the flip side, if you have been putting out negativity or anything like that, that stuff is on its way back to you. So, from your spirits, this could be a warning or it could be a heads up that something great is coming down the line. The Justice card is really about energy balances. So, the whole you get what you give, you get what you give kind of thing. So, yeah, if you've been putting all that positive energy out, you have some really great things that are coming towards you. And if you've been working with your ancestors or your spirit guides or whoever, I think they are definitely helping you with that. So that's really cool, really great energy to have. All right, cross you off. All right, so I'm going to cross Sari off because she's not here. Joanna, Lucinda, Ronnie, go ahead, post your questions in the chat. What a great spirit ancestor message. That's really cool. So have you been working on like manifestations, Poetic? I mean, the new moon was the full moon was a great time to do it. Oh, that's really good. Jasmine, hun, you got to repost your question. Poetic, that's so cool though. Like, I really need to get back into volunteering. All right, so Lucinda wants to know if anybody is coming towards her in love. Ooh, there's the strawberries card again. Let's see. So, the strawberries, I'm starting to understand to be uh somewhat about love, but because these are specialty cards, if you weren't here for that explanation, these are specialty cards, they're not standard tarot cards, so I'm still intuitively trying to discern their actual meaning. um but strawberries are a sweet snack, and they're really, most people really enjoy them, so to me this is a card about some sweet energy emotionally that is coming towards you. And the Hanged Man, actually, even though it sounds really ominous, is actually really really good. It's a card that, when you really think about it, um it's about flipping your perspective and just kind of letting go of old things, surrendering to new things, giving things a try. So you might have someone coming into your life that you either knew and didn't think about giving them a chance before, and suddenly have a new perspective on, or you're going to meet someone who you wouldn't suspect to be your type, and it really just, you guys really just hit it off, and you now have a new perspective towards that. So one of the two, but either way, you do seem to have some sort of really sweet energy coming, but sweet and something new. Ooh. So I do see a lot more in terms of the love stuff, in terms of, obviously, because that's what I asked for. But if you are um doing love manifestations, this is what you're manifesting. Oh, Laura, I do not. I'm a bad streamer. I totally forgot. Um, so if you guys, again, if you put your questions in before I call you, I will not scroll up to find it. So I'm just gonna let you guys know. Um, and then when I call on you, you have to repost your question again. So if you want to join the queue, just put join. Um, Next I have Ronnie, Chrissy, and Rose. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Hey everyone. Um Joanna, yeah, you did, but go ahead, put your question in the chat. You literally missed it by like 2, so you're not that far off. All right, let's see who we had join us. Gohar, welcome to the chat. Laura, I'm sorry I don't have the pendulum thing, but if you want it, I can I can scribble down some numbers real quick and do it that way. Jane, I got you. And Laura, let me know if you want to join the queue and I'll add you. You're welcome, Lucinda. Hopefully that resonates. It's really great energy, and however you're doing your manifestation, keep it up because it's working. Scott, welcome to YouTube. So you got the rundown of my rules, and I hope you are having a good Friday. All right. Jasmine, you gotta post your question again in the chat. Okay. Hearts love. Yeah, I could totally do that as a pendulum. So I have my pendulum here. I have a little pendulum board, but I'll pull it out. Let's see. Here we go. See if this works on camera. Yeah, you guys can see it. That's good enough. All right. So, Joe, you want to know, will Jackson be happy if you send him a heart emoji? Will Jackson be happy if Joe sends him a heart emoji? So when it swirls around like that, it's a maybe. So indecisive, inconclusive. But if you have, because yours was inconclusive, if you have a follow up or if you have maybe an extra detail you want to add in there, let me know. Laura's over there having earpod struggles. Ronnie, go ahead, put your question in the chat, and Joe, if you want like a follow-up, just go ahead and post it. So I have Ronnie, Chrissy, Rose. If you guys are still here, go ahead, put your questions in the chat. And then after that, I have Keith, Gohar, and Jana. Oh, Laura, and then Jana. Sorry. Okay, let's see. So this is still in regards to Jackson. So let's see here. Will Jackson want to express his feelings? Will Jackson want to express his feelings? Ooh, that is a solid yes there. That was a better question. This cracks me up. So I've lost so many things like in my bonnet, and when I had crochet braids, things would get stuck in them all the time. It's so annoying. Okay, Chrissy, go ahead, put your question in the chat. And then Rose, Keith, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Scott, I have you after Jana, so I will get back to you. Yeah, Hearts Glove, you can wait, or if you want to take that step, that's up to you. I always tell people, just go for it. Life's too short. After the year we've had, life's too short. All right. In 2022, let's do a coin flip for that. So Chrissy wants to know if love is coming towards her in 2022. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's see what kind of energy you will be getting in the way of love. That'll be your tarot pull. Oh, okay. And then you got the Queen of Chalices, which is the Queen of Cups. And yeah, Scott, you've been added to the list. You're just not up yet. So just enjoy the readings, and I will get to you in a few people. Queen of Chalices is someone who is really someone who's insightful and someone who is just really emotionally mature and intuitive and stuff like that. So you're going to start to, this yes here is going to lead you to this Queen of Cups energy, which is really, really great energy to have. And it could be that this is you, or it could be the type of person that you're meeting. I don't know that much, but either way, it's a great energy to have in regards to a question about what kind of energy you'll be inviting, or what kind of energy will be coming towards you in the love category. Yeah, Sagittarius, you can totally get on the list. I will add you. The list is a little long, so all right, so Rose, let's see. How does he see you? Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is actually a card that is it's not bad, but it worries me a little in the sense that the Four of Pentacles is usually about greed. So um in regards to how he sees you, maybe, and it could be the other way around, but I'm going to explain it and you take from it what you will. But he could see you as someone who is very needy, or someone who is greedy, or someone who just needs a lot of something. And it doesn't necessarily need to be money, but it can be time, it could be emotional resources, it could be a lot of stuff. But I think he sees you in that regard, and it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, some people are just clingy, and that's okay. And if you're okay with that and he's okay with that, then that is how it is. I didn't ask where the relationship will go because it's a different question. um and I don't really see any of that in this card. So let's see. So you want to know, okay, I'll ask it that way. Mr. Wright asks, do the cards see him living in this chaotic place for the foreseeable future? Rose, yeah. So, I mean, I would talk to him about it. I always say, like, the cards kind of give you an idea of what to talk about. So I would talk about it with him and, just be honest. You seem self aware, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. And we all get a little clingy sometimes. Keith, no, actually. You got the Hangman. And as I explained earlier, the Hangman is about flipping things upside down. Crystal, I have you at it. So flipping things upside down and getting a new perspective on things. And I think that's really what's going to happen. Is right now things seem chaotic and stuff like that, but there's going to be a moment of just pause where you can kind of reflect and decide, what is it that I can let go of, what is it that I can move on to and work with and find new perspectives on. But also, a big thing about the Hangman is it's about letting go too. So maybe this is a point, like, things are chaotic, but you're finally going to get to a point where you're like, okay, I can let go of this. So yeah, actually that was a quick and easy answer there. So let's see. Next I have Gohar, Laura, Jana. You guys can go ahead and ask your questions. Camilla, I have you at it. You're welcome. All right. So Ronnie asks, what is my ex AK feeling for me? And did he realize he made a mistake? Let's see. Five of Wands in reverse. So Wands is really active energy, but fives are really about conflict and stuff like that. So in reverse, I think there's an inner conflict, and maybe he does see this as like he's made a mistake in letting you go or ruining things or however things went down, and but just because he feels that way, the Five of Wands is really about actively ignoring that, right? So there's a piece of him that he realizes that he's made a mistake, but he's also not going to do anything about it. So yeah, it's kind of a catch-22 kind of emotion happening. And it could be because this person is really stubborn, like if they're prone to not accepting the mistakes that they made. Jane, yeah, you are on the list. I think I put you down as Jana, but yes, you are on the list. So yeah, you are good to go. Hey, Spicy Ramen. Hey, Mariah. All right, Nia, I have added you. All right. Next, Gohar, Laura, Jane, put your questions in the chat. And then following that, I have Scott, Sagittarius, Crystal, Camilla, and Nia. Well, his feelings towards you are probably. I'll do a quick pull. Let's see here. 10 of Pentacles in reverse for that. So I'm going to just look that up because still working on my reversals here. But the 10 of Pentacles in reverse is did he I don't know, do you have money, or were you like supporting him? Because I feel like maybe he doesn't like miss the romantic side of you, but he misses like the financial stability he had with you. It doesn't seem very romantic to me. So I don't take this as like he misses the relationship. I think he misses what he was getting out of the relationship. Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a good time. Make sure you like and subscribe. I am here usually at 7s when I'm not having technical difficulties. And I do one card pulls. Usually I will do some follow-ups if I have a hard time. But if you want a full reading, you can tip, and tips allow you to skip. So tip skip. All right. Oops. Hey Esha, how you doing? All right, so Laura wants a pendulum reading. So I'm gonna make an ad hoc pendulum board here for numbers. But actually, Laura, I will get you in a second, but you get to see my ad hoc pendulum board ahead of time. So let me get Jane's question real quick. Jane, you want to know details on your next lover. Let's see what your next lover is going to be like. Ooh, 8 of Cups. So your next lover is actually going to be someone completely different from what you're used to. I don't know if you are a type of person to have like typical, what's the word, type or anything like that. But yeah, this is going to be someone who is different from that. But I'd also warn that this person can they can tend to withdraw or escape, like if you guys have a fight or anything like that. So I would be careful about that. You know, it's something you guys will have to actively work on. It's someone who can get really emotional about things. So, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And it depends what kind of person you are as well, right? So you see this person standing in the field, kind of lost in their emotions. And sometimes, you know, people that deal with similar things like that relate really well to each other because they know how to deal with it. And So yeah, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but just something to keep an eye on. Esha, I'm glad you're doing well. I am too. I had a really light Friday, so um yeah, I can't complain. Ronnie, you're very welcome. Yeah, I would be careful. Just kind of keep an eye on it. Make sure he's not like telling you all the things that you want to hear type thing. Hi, Zena. You can get added to the queue, but I will say the queue is kind of long right now. All right. Next, we have Laura. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's see. What time were you born? So you just want to know what time you were born, and let's see, what was the other one? Well, I moved to South Korea. Okay, so I will find out the time first. Yeah, it's looking like 4. Let me go through the other ones. So I've never done my pendulum on camera before, so this is like interesting. Actually, I lied. I've done it once. But I've never done it for you guys on YouTube. All right. Yeah. I just like to go through to make sure that I didn't like move my hand in any weird direction. But it looks like you were born around the 4 o'clock time frame. And then let's see if you should move to South Korea in 2022. So should Laura move to South Korea in 2022? Let's see. I'm getting a no for that one. Yeah. So 4 o'clock and no for South Korea. I wonder though if the time difference between that and where you are when you were where you live now is around. Let's see. AM or PM. Make some room here. Was she born around born AM or PM? PM? You're welcome. Let me know if that's accurate. I've never done that before, so I'm happy to test things out. That's how I learn. All right. So I think Jane, did I get you, hon? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, yes, I did. Cool. Forgot to mark you off. Scott, if you are still hanging out, go ahead, put your question in the chat. I have Scott, Sagittarius, and Crystal. Go ahead, put your questions in the chat. Hi, Victorian. Welcome to the chat. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, I am Brittany. I am the Cosmic Lunar Soul. And I do free tarot divination readings on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Really? Okay, then I'm off then. I wouldn't trust my wackadoo pendulum board. That's what I get for not doing something ahead of time like I said I would. Okay. Let's see. Camilla, Nia, Esha, if you guys are still hanging out, go ahead, put your questions in the chat. And then I have you add it to the queue. Oops. There we go. All right. Scott asks, yeah, Laura, thanks for letting me test that out. I am not as not as I won't say skilled. I'm not as practiced with the pendulum in the sense that I don't know its limits. Cancerian, I have you as well added to the queue. All right, what does Derek want with Scott? Ooh, Ace of Wands. It's funny. That was my very first reading of the night. So this is someone who kind of wants to take action but doesn't know how to yet, and that could be for a few reasons. It could be because they are going through their own thing. They don't, there's something blocking the way, or they think that you won't receive it well. There's some sort of blockage there that keeps it from moving forward, because the Ace of Wands is usually about really active energy and new active energy. And in reverse, there's a block there. So there's something keeping you from starting that journey together. And I don't know if it's on your end or on his end, I'm not sure about that. But the thing is, I think there is a connection there. You just kind of have to remove whatever is standing in the way. And it could be shyness, it could be a lot of things. So, and I think there's a bit of a delay. So, Scott, that was your question. All right, Camilla. Who is coming for me in love and when? Sorry, I'm looking around because my cat is like, all right, you've been sitting at this computer for far too long. It's time for my daily dose of pets. Camilla wants to know who's coming for her in love. It's that Eight of Chalices again. This is that card that I believe it was Jane, I think. It's a warning, because the person who is coming into your life can have a lot of baggage. It could be someone that is also just not emotionally ready to be in a relationship, and it could cause a lot of like undue stress. So yeah, just be careful about that. This is somebody who wants to like disengage and sort of retreat when there's problems, someone who might end up pushing you away when things aren't going to plan. So I would be careful about this energy and all of that. All right, Sagittarius, Crystal, Nia. I think Nia, I saw your question. Sorry. Here it is. My stream elements pushed it up. Carmen, I have you added to the queue. Thank you for the like and subscribe. All right, so Nia, I will do your first question. I don't do soulmate twin flame things. So, does your ex still think about you? I'm going to do my coin and then do a follow-up. Does Nia's ex still think about her? So no, let's find out why. Why doesn't your ex think about you anymore? Why doesn't Nia's ex think about it? Yeah, Victorian, you were at it. You are coming up. You're only like one person off. You're really in the next batch. Ooh, this is interesting. So I'm gonna pull another card. This is Reverie, which is a special card in this deck, and I'm actually going to look at it a little bit. Okay. And then you got the Emperor in reverse. So Reverie actually looks like a person who is like wooing someone. So let me see if I can get this in closer. So if you see here, this is someone who is like serenading someone on a ship or on a boat, on a lake, and all of that. And then you have the Emperor in reverse. And the Emperor card is usually about authority and stuff like that. But in reverse, it could be about like inflexibility, needing to be in control and stuff like that. So I don't think he is thinking about you at all, really. And um, I feel like he's kind of dealing with someone else already, basically, is the vibe that I'm getting from this. So it seems like he's moving on, trying to start new things. And yeah, let me make sure I did not miss anyone in the queue. Hey, Haley. Hi, Stella. Um, let's see. Carmen, I have you at it. Let's see. Chocolate. Let me just jot down some names real quick. All right. So while I do this, Esha, Victoria, and Cancerian, go ahead, put your questions in the chat. And I think, yeah, I think I got everybody. Good. Sorry, I was reading, trying to make sure that I got everybody. That I got everybody in the. All right. So I have a nice queue going, and I am going to close the queue. All right, there we go. So the queue has been closed. All right. So I haven't heard back from Sagittarius, Crystal, Nia, or no, I got you, Nia. Sorry. Esha, Victorian, and Cancerian. Okay. There we go, Victorian. All right. Let's see. How does your crush A feel about you after he saw your story? Ooh, okay. Let's. Ah, tiny elephants. That is a specialty card, which means I will pull one more. Knight of Wands. So my tiny elephants card is actually I've kind of figured out what I think it means, and I think it's like the journey to wisdom. It's starting to, get the gears turning, and people are starting to think about things and stuff like that. And the Knight of Wands actually is about inspiration as well. So this is someone who um, was really inspired by your Instagram story, but I will warn that this can also be someone who is a little impulsive. And so just keep that in mind. But overall, it's really good. I mean, it's someone who really saw your Insta story and really kind of took that to heart. I did. So when it takes a while for people to answer, I just kind of go in groups. That's all. Gohar, you're still here? I thought you were gone. Okay. Um, but yeah, so Victorian seems to seems your Insta story really caught his eye. All right, Cancerian. So Gohar, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Cancerian wants to know Jaden's feelings towards her. One second. Yeah, I'm glad that makes sense. Um, so sorry about that, guys. Had to block a troll. So let's see. Where were we? Jaden's feelings towards him. Oh, this is interesting. You got the gift in reverse. I'm getting all my specialty cards. Victorian, I'm glad that makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad that was good news. All right. So you got the Two of Swords in reverse, and you got a specialty card, which is called the gift. And let's start with, since I'm still learning what this card might mean. The Two of Swords in reverse is about being indecisive. So Jaden is being really, really indecisive about stuff and about you and about just a lot of things. And it's really just kind of like have you ever heard the term analysis paralysis, right? So he has so many things going on, but he doesn't know what to focus on and stuff like that. But I'm curious, this gift card is really cool. Here it is upright. It's fish swimming together and they see a key. But I wonder if upside down, like reversed, it means like not recognizing something special that's in front of you. So that's kind of the card that I am noticing. So yeah, I think I don't think he realizes what is right in front of him really. Victorian, that's so funny that you posted an inspirational video. Well, then no wonder the cards are all about inspiration and wisdom and stuff like that. That's so cool. Um, let's see. So I just got done with Cancerian, Victorian. You. All right, so let's do Gohar next, and then let's see. Starry, you are coming up. Actually, yeah, you're right. You were after Sagittarius. I missed you. So go ahead and put your question in. I'm gonna do Gohar and then I'll get you. And then we have Carmen, Chocolate, and Stella. So Gohar wants to know, does Shahid want to reconcile? Oh, he does want to reconcile. So let's see. Why does he want to reconcile? Ooh, the Chariot. So he does want to reconcile. The Chariot is about victories, but it's also about success and stuff like that. So I think what he is uh realizing is that there's success when you guys are together, right? And sometimes when people are apart, they realize things just are not the way they don't like it that way. They'd rather reconcile and get back together and work through it. And the Chariot card is all about determination and willpower and excuse me and all of that kind of energy. It's also about moving forward too. So you see this car here. It could be idled, it could be whatever, but it's still in that forward position, moving forward. So, yeah, I think that he will want to reconcile, and it will happen eventually. Hi, sorry, the queue is closed, Grateful Goddess. I'm sorry that you missed me. All right. How does T feel about you calling? Eight of Wands. So eights are sometimes a card of disconnect, but the Eight of Wands is actually a card of a lot of action. A lot of things are happening. So I really don't know that it registered. Like it almost feels like this person has a lot going on right now. And like I don't think they have the chance to really sit down and think about it. So that being said, if you want them to think about it, you can always try reaching out again because I think that and if you know this person well, maybe you can figure out a time when things aren't quite so hectic. Let's see. Carmen, Chocolate, Stella, West, and China. So yeah, I don't think it actually doesn't give me any vibe one way or another. I don't think it even registered. So if you want it to, you're gonna have to try again. So let me know if that resonates with you. Yeah, China, go ahead, put your question in the chat. So I will be wrapping up soon. That means China, I see you here. So West, Stella, Chocolate, and Carmen, if you guys are still here, now's the time. Go ahead, put your questions in the chat. Maybe. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sorry about that. And maybe it's just that, you know, they're not dealing with it right now. Maybe it's something that they'll process later and think about more later as they get some time to sit down and actually figure out what they want. So China wants to know, how is her person feeling about her? Ooh, the Magician. I got that card earlier. That's so funny to see similar cards popping up like that. It, I don't know how that always happens, but um the Magician is actually a card of manifestation and inspiration and stuff like that. So this person really digs you. Like, it's just really nice overall energy, and this person also probably thinks that you are there. The connection that you guys have is really strong. So yeah, I don't I don't even know. I don't know what else to say. That's just really great energy. Yeah, so I hope that resonates with you. Let's see. I'm gonna mark you off just so I know that I got you. You're so welcome. All right, chocolate covered rosé. Ooh. You want to know if your love interest is gonna like you when he comes over. So I'm gonna do my yes or no coin for that, and then do a follow up. Will chocolate covered rosé's love interest like her when he comes over? So no, let's find out why not. You're so welcome. Why won't he like her? My cats are in the background doing something weird. Ooh, this one just popped out. So the Five of Cups popped out, and I think that maybe he is having to deal with his own demons before he can even bother with anybody else. And um like, he's dealing with something uh emotionally that is really just causing, like, I don't want to say depression, but he's just really disappointed in the way things have been going or went or something like that. So um I think that this is all him. I don't think this is necessarily having to do with you at all, because this is all kind of like, this card a lot of times makes me think of like the recent past. So it's not something that's going to happen. It's something that has been happening. And like, this is very lingering energy. It's been around for a while. So he has to work on that before he can like you. But I'm sorry, Chocolate. West, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Okay, so he is okay. If that's what it is, you got to let people process and deal with what they're going to deal with, and then go from there. Summer, did I miss you? I don't think I got your name down. You can go ahead and, oh, you know what? I remember. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, put your question in the chat too. You're totally right. I'm so sorry. This is why I need mods to do this. And next week I will be back at my normal setup. I won't be dealing with like restream and stuff like that. Well, I'll be dealing with a restream, but so as we wait for some questions, I want to do a like going into the weekend type energy. And I feel like I should do the Moonology deck. So if you guys want your, like your thing to reflect on for the weekend, let me know if you want the Spellcaster or the Moonology. And if nobody says, then I will pick. Okay, so let's see. What does your person wish she could change about you? The Chariot card again. So the Chariot in reverse is about a lack of direction. So I think maybe what he would change is maybe a little bit of like indecisiveness or not really knowing where you want to go. And it could be in life or it could be something mundane, like you're bad at deciding where to go to dinner. Emmy, thank you so much. But yeah, so I think and the thing is, it's not really like the end of the world. This doesn't seem like, it seems like normal stuff that you might not, like a pet peeve you might have for a partner. So it doesn't seem like this card is like, oh, I hate this person's guts, you know? It's something small, and I think it's just like maybe he just gets annoyed when you're a little indecisive or if you kind of like flip-flop with things. And that's, that's kind of a good thing to be annoyed about, in the sense that they want you to be able to stand in your own convictions, which is really good to do. So, Emmy, my queue is actually closed. So sorry about that, but thank you so much for the subscribe. I will be back here next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can catch me then. And I appreciate it. Thank you, West. West, I didn't get you yet. So go ahead, put your question in the chat. Okay, there we go. Yes. So that's a great way to put it. Being strong-willed and standing in your convictions and stuff like that. Yeah, looking forward to having you, Emmy. That is a great way of putting it, Wes. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're in the queue, babe. So as long as you're here, I'm gonna get her done. And then we'll do a oh, but Emmy, if you want to stay and join us for the community read, I am going to be using my Moonology deck. And you can get a reflection, something to reflect on as we go into our weekends. All right, so Wes wants to know, what did your love interest think the last time he heard from you? Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I'm gonna do a collective reading. So let me look that up because uh reversals are still working on them intuitively. But so you asked, what did your love interest think of you the last time he heard from you? And I think that he last time he was thinking maybe that you were being a little impulsive, perhaps. And I don't know why that would be. Like, did you tell him that you wouldn't contact him or something like that? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Wes. Um, because the Knight of Swords in reverse is someone who is impulsive, can be a little unfocused and stuff like that. So maybe he didn't really know what to get out of the last conversation or last time that he heard you. He didn't know really what to make of it because, maybe on his end, he was expecting something different than what you gave him. So, yeah, I would say that he's probably a little confused, and maybe you should be, if maybe you're sending out mixed vibes. So if that's the case, maybe be a little. Oh my gosh, you accidentally hung up on him. Yeah, it was probably weird. He's really like, okay, I don't know what to do about this. And yeah, okay, that explains it. That's so funny. So I think, just be cool the next time around. That's so funny. I love it. I love it. But yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. Knights can be really impulsive and stuff like that. But, you know, the Knight of Swords, which is interesting, is that he's thinking about you. Whether he thought that was a very weird situation or not, at least he's thinking about you. All right, so let's do our community read. Woo. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for being patient and waiting it out. I know that was a long queue to get through, so I appreciate your patience. All right, community read. Oof, that did not fan out well. Let's do that again. It's okay. I kind of want this card anyway. So we got luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. Ooh, that's really cool. So as we go into the weekend, if you had anything that you were hoping to receive, or if you've been manifesting, if you've been doing spell work, if you've been doing anything, if you've been putting any hopes and dreams into the air, you have some good luck coming your way. So, as you go into the weekend, reflect on the things that you are lucky for and reflect on the things that you might not have thought to be lucky about, but that you really are just lucky to have in your life. The new moon is also about new things. So you can also reflect on the things that inspire you and the things that are newer in your life that you might have overlooked. So that is the community read. And thank you all for hanging out with me. I think it might just be us, best of the West. But thank you guys for joining me. And I will catch you next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Yeah, so join me next week for some free tarot readings. Bye, guys.